Here with head coach Jeff Parks. I'm Patrick Walsh on Law Tech All Access. Jeff, let's talk about coming out of the fall, entering the spring season now. What's the number one goal that the team's going to face as they start the spring season off in San Antonio?
Well, we got to play a little bit better than we did in the fall, and to move up in the rankings, we'll definitely have to make a few more putts and hopefully play at the level I think that they're able to play at. We just didn't have the best of fall, but spring we've got a good challenge ahead of us, and if we do what we need to do, we should be in good shape.
Team had a pretty good year last year, but only lost one player, added a couple new bodies to the mix. Should improve the team overall with a level of competitiveness, don't you think?
Yeah, we're in great shape. The guys have been practicing hard and getting ready for the spring event. They know what's in front of us, and not really pleased with where we were in the fall, so highly motivated at the moment to play well in the spring.
How do you prepare for a spring schedule when you haven't been able to get outside and play on the course that much lately?
Well, luckily at Squire Creek we have an indoor facility where we can practice inside, hit in the net, and then obviously we'll hit outside when it's available. But there'll be some cold events that we'll play in, so we got to get a little bit used to the weather. And we still chip, pitch, putt even if it's chilly.
Opening the season February 10th and 11th at UTSA, you're going to face some pretty good teams, specifically Oklahoma and Baylor, who are both ranked in the top 30 in the country. What is the mindset going into that tournament facing that level of competition?
Well, we'll be playing the golf course more than anything. They're in the event, and we'll know that they're in the event, but we won't play them specifically. And we'll try to play the golf course to our strengths and our abilities, and hopefully we can come out toward the top.
You'll face another group of tough teams when you go down to Houston on February 21 through 23. Oklahoma, Texas are just a few of the names on there. Again, you're going to play the course, but you got to like the opportunities your team is going to have to be able to beat some teams that are ranked ahead of you.
Yeah, our schedule for the spring is tough. It's for a reason, and that's because we need to be able to play at the best events that we can play in and play well so we can move up in our rankings. And so we get in those events on purpose, and those teams are there and they're highly ranked, and if we play well we should be able to compete with them. Last year at Houston we played extremely well, finished fourth in a high caliber field, and it helped vault our rankings up tremendously.
The one home event of the spring schedule, the Argent Financial Classic, will be March 3rd and 4th at Squire Creek. What kind of teams, talent level, you think is coming in for this year's tournament, and who will the Bulldogs be facing?
Well, Southeastern will be there again. They're always a tough tournament for us because they've played quite a few times. They play the golf course well. Pretty much all the normal regulars. We have Texas State. Can't really think of all of them off the top of my head, but it's pretty similar to what we've had in the past. And hopefully at our home event we should be able to come out on top.
Looking ahead to the rest of the spring, so again, you've mentioned several tough tournaments. As you go into the various tournaments, what's the one thing the team really needs to do to improve from the fall and from last year?
Well, it's staying in the present. I mean, we talk a lot about what we have coming up to try to get to conference, and that's our goals, obviously, but there's really can't do anything about that until we hit this specific shot. So staying in the present, hit that particular shot, do the best you can on that one swing, and every shot matters. It's if we can make one more putt or hit one more quality shot, it could make the difference.
Looking at the conference, very different field from the Western Athletic Conference, moving into Conference USA. The one thing that the league in CUSA has is a very, very good team in UAB, ranked 10th in the nation entering the spring, and then a lot of teams ranked very close to each other. What does that kind of lead, do you think, is going to lead to in the when you reach the Conference USA championships?
Well, with one team ranked that high, they obviously will have a target on them. Everybody will be firing at them. And, if they don't play at their highest level and maybe think they have the thing won before they ever get there, it could be to their disadvantage. So, all the rest of the teams ranked somewhere in the 60s all the way up in the hundreds have the ability to beat each other on any given day. If somebody has a good day and a good week in tournament prep, might end up on the top. So you never know. With one team at the top, it still is a very good chance that we can go in and win the conference.
And while it's a new league and it's a lot of new faces, there's still a lot of familiar faces because teams like Middle Tennessee and North Texas and Southern Miss, you face them week in, week out at all the tournaments you play in the Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas area.
Yeah, we're pretty familiar with a lot of the teams in Conference USA. Probably half of the field we see on a regular basis, and we know that they're beatable. We've beat them, they beat us, and kind of goes back and forth. So it'll be just in Oklahoma where the event is. It'll be windy. It'll be a new venue for us. We haven't played there. So it'll be interesting. I think most of the teams, some of them will have played the event sometime before, but at that venue anyway, and so it could have a little advantage there, some course knowledge, but we'll go there, prepare, and hopefully play well.
What will the biggest difference be just the terrain of the course? Last few years and the WAC championships have been out in Las Vegas, and the kids go out there, and it's very, very different from Louisiana with the rocks and the desert and the wind out there. Will it be a little bit, I guess, easier trek going to somewhat similar terrain with a course in Edmond, Oklahoma?
It should be. The grasses will be a little the same versus out there we were playing on bent grass greens and ryegrass, and it was target golf, and it was a different look for them. No excuse, but it was different than what we were used to. The course in Oklahoma at Oak Tree is a Pete Dye course, which is a very penal golf course. It has, if you miss a few shots, it could really tack on. So it'll be controlling your golf ball, and like any other golf course, if you hit it in the middle and hit on the green, it'll be pretty easy. But the missed shots will be where the ones could be some high numbers involved. But hopefully we'll stay away from those and make some putts, and it'll be like any other golf course.
All right, well, again, I'm Patrick Walsh here with Jeff Parks, previewing the spring season for the Bulldog golf team that opens up on February 10th and 11th at UTSA. And again, the home event, the Argent Financial Classic, will be at Squire Creek Country Club on March 3rd and 4th.